Congrats to Mark on his well-deserved promotion. That was the subject line. The email that shifted everything. A brief 2-line notice. No heads up. No discussion. No reasoning. I stayed at it for a solid minute. Not shock. No. I'd sensed this brewing. Just feeling the stillness in the air. I didn't shout. Didn't smash anything. I shut the laptop, rose from my chair, and walked to the bathroom, locked the door, and breathed out. Mark, my wife's brother, the guy who'd rather debate basketball stats than master his role. My boss, her father, family ties, right? I stayed silent that night. Not a word to my wife. Not to him at work. Next day, I showed up. Business as usual. Cleared every task. Emptied my inbox. Then I started pulling strings. Feist, the investment fund. He didn't know I'd been bankrolling the venture with his son-in-law, my wife's favorite. Quietly sold off. Second, the startup I'd helped Mark pitch to his golf buddies. He leaned on my reputation for clout. I held 51% through a discreet LLC. Dissolved it. No need for a fight. Precision was enough. I skipped family dinners. Ignored group chats. Let my wife wrestle with her own doubts. She didn't ask directly. Not yet. 3 weeks later, the crack showed. Hey, you still good for the quarterly deposit? My brother-in-law, fishing. Can you resend the partnership docs? Lost them. Mark, pretending the company still existed. Even my wife chimed in. You've been distant. Dad says you're upset. Don't let work ruin us. As if work was the problem. I stayed quiet, saving it. Then came the first real jab at control. Her father called. Son, we're family. Promotions are tough calls. Nothing personal. Mark just gels better with the team. You're more independent. Independent. Sure. The guy who ran 2 departments and trained half the staff. I could have scoffed, but I didn't. Just murmured agreement over the phone. He eased up, thinking it was done. It wasn't. Then came the trust letter from my grandmother's estate, a clause I hadn't known about. This activates only when those meant to stand by you betray you. Her words, sharp as ever. I inherited not just money, but leverage over assets tied to 2 of my father-in-law's ventures through shell companies. 1. The new office expansion. Slashed. Gone. I smiled for the first time in weeks. Not joy, but clarity. The next day, I handed in my resignation. Clean, typed, no drama. Left it on his desk, face down. He smiked, flipping it over casually. Probably for the best, he muttered. Then he read the final line. Effective immediately. Per clause 4.7, all intellectual property I contributed is revoked. All funding ties severed. Legal documents attached. His face froze. This a joke? I nodded and walked out. Your call. A week later, his kingdom started crumbling. Vendors bailed. Deals stalled. Shareholders probed. The IP I owned wasn't just a logo, it was the backbone of their main product. They never saw I'd kept control in the fine print. My wife called that night, voice shaky for once. We need to talk. I let it ring. She showed up at my new place, holding a casserole like we were in a movie. Her smile was hollow. We all mess up. Family's messy. Let's move on. I offered coffee. We talked for 10 minutes. Then I slid her an envelope. Divorce papers. Signed. Prenup intact. No battles. No demands. I wasn't here to destroy. Just to stop carrying their weight. Months later, her father called, leaving voicemails cloaked as olive branches. We could use your insight. The board's asking about you. We should have handled it better. I listened once, then deleted them. They came with apologies, but I'd already built something new. Solid ground. No shadows in the walls. Now, I sleep. No tightness in my chest. No fake smiles at family dinners. Betrayal is a craft. But revenge? It's focus. Not anger. Clarity. I gave them everything. They chose pride. So I gave them silence. And silence, when owned, speaks louder than any vendetta. I didn't win. I walked away. That's a power they'll never grasp. If this story hit you, share it with someone who gets the taste of quiet revenge. Subscribe for more.